Movies, TV. Across the world, the entertainment industry is an exciting space to be in. In South Africa, the lion's share of the film production market is based in Gauteng and the Western Cape. Now, with the development of new film studios, KwaZulu Natal is set to become a major player. NFVF research shows that the film industry contributes more to our national economy than the trade, tourism, and advertising sectors. This industry generates thousands of jobs and packs a powerful economic punch. But how much of an impact does the film industry have on our environment? The KZN Film Commission recently commissioned a study with the objective of understanding how the film industry uses the resources available and the environmental impact of each production. Data was collated through a selection of interviews and focus groups over 3 long-form productions, 2 short-form television adverts, 2 photo shoots, and an online study that assessed the high-impact areas of set location, studio, transport, catering, accommodation, flights, and printing. The study uses the triple bottom line approach to get a true measure of how sustainable the film industry is in our province by shining a light on the cost to our environment as well as the social impact and not just on the financial benefit. Measuring in carbon emissions, the UK film industry-backed project, Albert Plus, indicated that a total of 225 kilograms of carbon emissions are released per broadcast minute in the UK. To put in perspective how carbon emissions are affecting our environment, it takes 1,000 kilograms of carbon emissions to destroy 3 square meters of sea ice. In comparison to the UK, the study calculated that South Africa emits roughly 49,000 kilograms of carbon emissions per week on our long-form productions. When you calculate the number of long-form productions taking place over the course of the year in South Africa, the impact is clear. International research proves that emissions from broadcasting productions equals that of the entire global aviation industry. In California, a 2006 study placed their film industry second to the top air pollutant emissions industry, petroleum refineries. Thanks to the awareness generated from research, we know that carbon emissions in the film industry are generated from 3 main sources: the consumption of fossil fuels, the consumption and waste of non-renewable materials, and travel. From North America to the UK and European markets, productions and studios are becoming more environmentally conscious and taking responsibility to reduce the industry's large carbon footprint. Sustainable production initiatives, forums, guides, and certification systems are in place to monitor how efficiently resources are being used. International incentives and green awards are fiercely competed over. KZN must be promoted as an international filming destination, but we must be mindful of the potentially negative impact of the productions on our environment. The study did a comparative analysis of the environmental impact of 3 long-form productions shot in KZN: Uzalo, The Kings of Mulberry Street, and The Widow. Overall, key factors that increased the production's carbon emissions ratings were transport, recycling, water conservation, and energy efficiency. Factors that reduced the carbon footprint of the bold telenovela Uzalo, which is shot entirely on location in the streets of F section in KwaMashu and on a soundstage in Durban. Most of the cast and crew live around Durban, so travel distances are kept to a minimum. Water coolers instead of individual bottled water. A move towards using digital pads for their scripts. But the production uses extra air conditioning on the soundstage. The production works closely with the local community, developing KwaMashu's young local cast and crew, along with other measures that the production has in place. This adds to Uzalo hugely reducing their overall carbon footprint and building the local economy. Factors that reduced the environmental impact of the local feature film, The Kings of Mulberry Street, was that they filmed entirely on location in the predominantly Indian area of Tongaat and Verulam, just north of Durban. Travel of the local cast and crew was kept to a minimum. Existing buildings were dressed as sets. 10% of wardrobe budget was spent on new clothing. Props and some key items were sourced from the local Chatsworth Hotel. Energy-efficient LED lighting was used. The caterer saved energy with the use of Wonderbags insulation cookers to reduce cooking time. The production left a legacy by renovating a local cedar office that is now suitable for the launch of entrepreneurship workshops. However, there was no composting food waste measures or collection of the plastic bottles used on set and at base camp that would have reduced waste to landfill. Kings of Mulberry Street is still a solid example of a local production realized on a tight budget, but has an increased carbon footprint when compared to Uzalo, as some of their cast and crew were from out of KZN. In comparison to local longform, the carbon footprint of the international TV series, The Widow, has a much higher impact simply because of flights and accommodation for the international cast and crew. KZN was selected by Cape Town-based Film Africa to stand in for the Congo jungle scenes. Adding to their carbon footprint, they transported equipment from Cape Town to KZN for this part of the production to save on time and money. 85 vehicles were rented in Durban. 38 international flights were required. The Widow offset their carbon footprint in other ways. Waste separation was encouraged during the production, but was poorly enforced. Eco-Pack compostable bagasse food containers and paper cups were used, but were sent to landfill and not composted. The production team implemented an extensive water-saving plan on location that was followed by all. An example other productions can follow is in Film Africa's hiring of a supplier that provided energy and water-efficient trailers for the setup of their base camp. A focus on attracting international productions will increase environmental impact, making it even more important to improve resource efficiency and provide practical solutions. Short-form productions had a much smaller carbon footprint because of their short duration. One factor is that the case studies did not include many flights or accommodation. There are many more short-form productions per annum in the province, so any environmental measures taken by these productions are amplified. Obtaining accurate short-form data was made difficult by limited access, as most of these short productions were made by private companies. The good news is that some studios, production houses and suppliers are working towards resource efficiency because they know this leads to saving money and leaving a positive legacy. The online survey revealed that over 92% of respondents feel that it is important and would have a positive impact over the long term to address issues around sustainability in the film industry. Through the report, we understand that the KZN film industry at large does not fully understand how big our own impact is on the environment, or how to pull it down as an individual or as an industry. Awareness and the practice of sustainability is very low, as local filmmakers have not yet appreciated the use of aids or resources that can minimize environmental impact. Usually, only the financial gain and employment figures are considered. Set up an independent industry body to drive awareness, education, recognition, and ultimately policy change. Raise awareness through information sessions and industry engagement on key platforms such as the Durban International Film Festival and Durban Film Market. Follow the successful global initiatives of certification systems, incentives, and clear guidelines that send a strong message about the future of film and media production. Engagement with our tertiary institutions to include it into formal curriculum. Setting up a secondary green economy will generate new job descriptions. This is highly recommended across all departments in the film industry, as we will get access to accurate data that will drive policy change. Introduce a new category in the Simon Sabela Film and Television Awards that recognizes industry leaders that are going the extra green mile, showing that we take this seriously in the KZN film industry.